Today's video is going to feature a method of shiny hunting that I presume a lot of you guys are going to be already familiar with, as it's been highly publicized on websites such as Reddit and also here on YouTube. A lot of Pokemon YouTubers have already made a video covering this method, so nothing in this video might be new to you, but I hope you guys will learn something anyway. This method is chaining, using the DexNav to find shiny Pokemon eventually. It's a very easy method, but can be quite time consuming. So just going over the basics, I guess the DexNav and chaining using the DexNav replaces the Poké Radar from previous Pokemon games, from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, and from Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. You used to be able to use the Poké Radar to chain Pokemon to, I don't know, encounter shiny versions of them Pokemon. So using this method is very similar to using the Poké Radar, just with some differences. I don't want to go over the basics too much. As I said, I presume a lot of you guys are going to be very familiar with this method, but I'll explain it anyway, just in case you guys don't know. So first things first, we're going to go over our party. You might want a Pokemon with the ability to synchronize and the target nature that you want the wild Pokemon to have, just to make it more viable. It's not a requirement at all, it's just very nice to have a, I don't know, say if you were trying to get a Absol, you were trying to chain an Absol, it'd be nice to have a route with the nature naive and the ability to synchronize, so you could get a naive Absol, which is a pretty perfect nature for an Absol. But this isn't a requirement, I just thought I'd show it on my party just in case you guys wanted me to explain that. The rest of my party consists of Pokemon with high power, high accuracy attacks. You might be chaining Pokemon that have the, I don't know, chance of having an attack like Teleport, which would break your chain if it uses the attack Teleport. So it's nice to have attacks that have high accuracy, high power, to be able to take out the Pokemon in one hit. So I've got attacks like Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Waterfall, stuff like that. You want high leveled Pokemon to be able to take out the Pokemon you're trying to chain in one hit, I'd say. Very useful to have, and I'd say that is a requirement. Going over the items I've got, I have a lot of Super Repels. I don't have too many. I'd recommend having about 40 Super Repels, just in case. Of course, Repels are just purely preference. I'd say Super Repels are the best for your money. You get 200 steps compared to the 250 steps from Max Repels, and you just save money with Super Repels, so I'd recommend that. You might also want the Shiny Charm. The Shiny Charm is a reward for completing the National Pokédex, and it isn't a requirement, it just helps increase the chance of finding a shiny Pokemon in the wild. So the Shiny Charm increases the odds from 1 in 4096 to 1 in 1024, around them odds. So I recommend having the Shiny Charm, it just makes your job a lot easier, but as I said, not a requirement. That's pretty much it for the basics, that's pretty much it for preparation. Now we're actually going to go into the practical, going to actually showcasing this method. I'm not going to actually be chaining a shiny Pokemon in this video, I'm just going to be explaining everything you need to know. So this method, all you need to do is use the DexNav to search for your preferred Pokemon. Unfortunately, we're not finding an Absol right here, but I'll showcase what you can do if you can't actually find a Pokemon in a nearby spot. You're going to want to just search for the Pokemon using the DexNav, and yeah, you'll be able to run into a Pokemon using the DexNav, and then you'll just need to defeat that Pokemon and continue your chain. That's all you need to do to chain a Pokemon. So we've just ran into a Pokemon. I accidentally clicked the settings button right there. Here's our first Pokemon in the chain. It isn't an Absol, but this doesn't matter. You can pretty much chain, well, you can pretty much find any Pokemon using the DexNav and it won't break your chain. So currently we're on a chain of 1. So all you need to do to continue a chain is just to defeat it or capture it. Very easy. That's all you need to do. So I'm just going to defeat this with Waterfall, and that'll be that for this first chain. This first Pokemon in the chain. In a chain, you can pretty much encounter any Pokemon on the route, just as long as it's encountered using the DexNav. How you know it's encountered using the DexNav? Well, you'll see its little silhouette shaking in the grass. So yeah, it could be any Pokemon, and it will increase your chain as long as it's encountered using the DexNav. So how you actually sneak up on a Pokemon, you just gently tap the analog stick, I guess. You just gently hold it. This Absol is a fantastic Absol. It's got a perfect 3-star potential. It's his ability and an egg move, so that'd be very nice. We're currently on a chain of 2 right now. Now you might notice the Pokemon's changed. We first encountered a Linoon. Now we're encountering an Absol. It doesn't matter, as I said, just as long as you're using the DexNav to encounter these Pokemon. So that's a common question I see. Doesn't matter as long as you're using the DexNav, which is very nice. Now, you might not be able to find a Pokemon while chaining, and you might think, oh, that's just broke my chain. I can't find a Pokemon using the DexNav. That really sucks. Well, if you step out the grass, just step out the grass and run just a little bit outside the grass, eventually another Pokemon will appear on your DexNav that you'll be able to encounter. So if you do this, that's perfect. That'll continue your chain and you won't have any trouble. You can continue chaining like that. So hopefully we can actually find it without breaking our chain, otherwise that would suck and that wouldn't be a very good demonstration. But you can do this and it will continue your chain. So if we actually run into this Linoon right here, it will continue our chain, and that's fantastic. So I'm just going to hope I can find it. I think that's it right here. So yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, it's a Kecleon. So this will increase our chain. We're currently on a chain of 3. Do not worry if, say, you're trying to chain an Absol isn't appearing on your DexNav. It really doesn't matter, and that's fantastic. So just defeat this Pokemon right here and continue chaining the Pokemon you're trying to get. I think that's pretty much it for all the common questions. There's one last thing I want to cover, but I just want to showcase to you guys the dynamics when you actually get to a chain of 5 and then 10 and stuff like that. I guess I can explain that right now. So I'll just continue showcasing this chain increases even if you don't encounter the Pokemon you're trying to chain. Right now we're chaining an Absol. So here's an Absol. We're currently going to be on a chain of 4 right here, which is fantastic. This is also holding a Life Orb. I really recommend you chaining Absol because they hold Life Orbs. That's a fantastic just pro tip, I guess. But yeah, we're currently on a chain of 4 right here, which is great. On a chain of 5 and then 10, 15, etc, etc, the Pokemon's level will increase by 10. And then 6 through, the encounters 6 through 9, 11 through 14, etc, etc. They'll increase by 1 level. That's a bit tough to describe, so I'll put a better explanation in the description for you guys, just in case I haven't described that as good as I could. But every 5 encounters, every 5 chain, every chain of 5 I should say, the level will increase by 10, and then the level of the Pokemon will increase by 1 thereafter, which is very nice. So I'll just showcase that to you guys. The Absols are being level 27, I believe, up until this point. So this Absol will be level 37, which is fantastic. You'll want to keep your Repels up, so I highly recommend that. But as you can see, this Absol is level 37, and yeah, very nice way of chaining for higher leveled Pokemon. I say people have successes around a chain of 40 onwards. The rate of actually encountering a shiny Pokemon after a chain of 40 is undecided right now. People haven't been able to find that out, but I'd say that's when the odds are most optimal, just like using the Poké Radar in other Pokemon games. Now, if you're on a chain of, say, 140, and your Pokemon's attacks have all ran out of PP and stuff like that, don't worry. Sorry, my voice is going, I'm still a little bit ill. Don't worry, because you can use PP ups to increase their PP, or something I found which is very useful, you can actually use a TM. You can just teach your Pokemon another attack, and you can continue your chain just by teaching it other TMs, which is great. So say if my Swampert PP was running low, I could simply teach it Earthquake, and I'd have 10 more PP, which would be fantastic. And then I could just teach it Dig, etc, etc. That'd be very nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the basics of chaining shiny Pokemon using the DexNav. I think that's where I'll end it off now. I think that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have found this useful. This is a very, very helpful method for encountering shiny Pokemon. Just keep at it. This is a very easy method, but requires quite a lot of persistence. So yeah, a like as always would be really appreciated. If you found this useful, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any more of my future videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.